Hello everyone, I Riya Pahuja from ETCIO welcome you all to the webinar Renewing Collaboration to Drive Efficiency in Uncertain Times. In this session, Tata Communications and Microsoft along with ETCIO.com will demonstrate a solution that bulldozes through the siloed working infrastructure and empowers 24/7 real-time collaboration. The key discussion points for this session are increasing organizational efficiency by eliminating silos, enabling enterprises to achieve continuous delivery across teams, and empowering 24/7 real-time collaboration. For this very topical discussion, we have two eminent speakers from the industry. We have with us Mr. Jayavalan S., Business Head UC and Mobility from Tata Communications. In his current role, he is responsible for managing and driving the collaboration and mobility business across India. The second speaker today is Mr. Kaushal Todi. He is Customer Success Manager at Microsoft, and he's a part of the Customer Success Unit at Microsoft. He works very closely with the customers to drive their investments in Microsoft. A very warm welcome, dear speakers.
Hi.
Before we go ahead with this session, I want to remind all of my attendees that they can drop in their queries and doubts in the chat box provided. We'll be taking all the questions and addressing them in the end of the session in Q&A round. Without any further delay, I now request our first speaker, Mr. Jayavalan S., to please take that forward. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Riya. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for your presence here. On behalf of Tata Communication, I welcome you all for this insightful webinar titled on Renewing Collaborations to Drive Efficiency in Uncertain Times. Along with me, as introduced, we have Mr. Kaushal Todi, managing the Customer Success Unit from Microsoft. Looking at today's title, Renewing Collaborations to Drive Efficiency in Uncertain Times. Hope we all agree that we are in a time of uncertainty, right? We don't know how, when this COVID-19 pandemic will come to an end. The latest news is that the fifth extension for lockdown is in discussion or getting announced shortly. That's where we are today, and that's more relevant for us this topic today on uncertainty time, what we can do, right? So we'll start with the session on few important industry overview from the market research analyst firms of data during this COVID-19 period, right? As per the report, except few industries, most of the industries, both short-term and long-term technology investment has negatively impacted, be it travel and hospitality industry, insurance industry, manufacturing, retail, transportation, or for that matter, banking. All of that has actually got impacted negatively. The good news is that the cloud collaboration, the cloud conferencing has been rapidly picked up, rapidly growing. That's good news from the conferencing service provider perspective. The other industry report says that about 66% of the enterprises are actually claiming that they have inability concerns of their prospects and customers. Meetings are getting cancelled, postponed. The other report, the other industries says that 40% of that employees productivity has gone down. So there are many other market insights we have got. Without much ado, so I'd like to call Kaushal to share the insights from Microsoft.
Sure, thanks Jay. So folks on the call, you would have seen as to how the pandemic is really influencing the way we are working. The good thing is we still have to work, right? And we have to be productive as employees. So when we saw as to how this pandemic is influencing the work trends, and we saw that how varied categories within the workforce have to adjust themselves to be productive, we saw that remote working was one of the things that was coming up very apparent. And across various categories, be it information workers, which required powerful meeting platform, a platform which they could collaborate on, build workforce on, build workflows on, or it could be the first line workers, right? The folks who actually are in front of your end customers, They required a mechanism which is a digital tool to communicate in the back end, maybe collaborate, use shifts, do as much as they can now in a digital manner. Maybe a MR, medical rep, how can he still connect to the doctor digitally, right? That's one of the examples. On the same lines, from a healthcare standpoint, how remote working can be made enabled in a secure and a compliant manner, right? So all of that is a growing trend that we are seeing. And one of the things, thanks to the vision that we had around Microsoft Teams with Microsoft, we saw Microsoft Teams come to rescue for all of these varied scenarios. So across varied categories, we saw the industry adopt Teams, so much so that we have today almost 75 million daily active users, and that actually increased significantly between the pandemic, right? So you would have seen that while we discussed, we were at 13 million daily active usage in the month of July 2019. During the pandemic, right, we crossed 75 million mark on daily active usage, which means 75 million users are using Teams daily, which is a huge thing. And what I want to discuss as to what are the influencing factors, what are they using, how can you use it, how can we continue our productivity, our collaboration, and drive efficiencies around it. One of the key pillars is accessibility, right? Teams is available to you on all the platforms. So whether you have a laptop which is a Linux laptop or a Windows laptop which has the main operating system on either of the two, it works on the same, right? If you have, let's say, a Mac machine, it works on the same. Whether you have an iOS phone or an app or an Android phone or an iPad, it works. Different versions of web, right? Whether it's an Edge browser, Chrome browser, Safari. So wherever you think you want to access Teams from, you can access it from there. The third important point around Teams, and the most important point is it can be used for almost all the key pillars of unified communication and collaboration. And we hence see this as a hub for teamwork. So much so that during pandemic, we have seen users use it for each and every scenario that they were doing at office. And I will detail out those scenarios as we talk. So what they can use it for, obviously they can use it for chat, they can use it for primary collaboration, they can use it for meetings, they can use it for calling, right? Also what they can do is they can have different apps and workflows created on it such that they need not basically reach out to people over phone and ask for approvals. All of that can be done in a digital manner. To detail out the same, right, I would use this particular slide, which basically speaks about how some of the things that you were doing at office can now be done in a digital manner when you're working from home. The first one is around one-to-one chat or one-to-one calls or one-to-one collaboration, right? All of those things from a one-to-one standpoint can now be done very efficiently using Teams. As you saw, Teams is accessible from anywhere, from any device. So users can quickly come here, can look at searching his colleague and start a communication. Now, since this chat communication supports GIFs, memes, emojis, and others, and is available on varied form factors on the mobile phone, on the desktop, laptop, it becomes very intuitive for the users to stay connected. I do not miss my office. I do not miss the perspective of me not being able to find my colleague who was just sitting next to me. So much so that I can now even find colleagues who are not sitting next to me. So all of that is accessible to me. I can include others, which means I can seamlessly have those one-on-one calls extended to a group call or to a group chat, right? And to add to that, there are a lot of AI capabilities within Teams. Things like translation, which allows me to translate languages which I am basically speaking and the others cannot understand. So all of those chats can now be translated. So that is the key pillar, that it helps. And one of the things from a stats standpoint we figured out, when people are trying to do chat, right, most of the times the meetings are not required because most of the decision gets done over chat itself. So optimization of unnecessary meetings is something that gets driven due to having efficient chat and efficient collaboration. Now talk about collaboration. The fact that you are able to co-author, the fact that multiple people are able to work on a document together within Teams is so cool. If you see over here, multiple people from within Teams itself can work on a document and can have a chat side by side. This really helps to avoid multiple versions of a file. This really helps to have multiple emails on a thread around version 1, version 2, version 3, and version end of a file. And all of that is recorded. All of that is still there for you. So it's an effective knowledge management that you're driving towards. And obviously, the amount of emails that you have and unnecessary versions of the files are also decreased. So that is the key other advantage that we thought, and a key other solution that people started using when remote working. The fourth other thing, which is the most important part, is the capability to have a digital workspace. Now think of it, when you're not at work, you may really wonder as to how do I find my team? How do I communicate with everyone together? With Teams, what it allows you to do is to create a digital team and to organize your chat space into something called as channels. So now you can have your projects into varied channels. You can have conversations with regards to those projects on those channels. You can have files. You can have all your files that you want to discuss under the file section. You can have respective tabs created for varied other decision points that you want to make. Right, so those are the varied things that allows collaboration to progress, that allows collaboration to increase. Now, in addition to collaboration, what Teams also provides is the capability of low code and no code. So with Office 365, you get something called as the Power Platform, and Power Platform allows you to have uh, apps created for the mobile phone and for the web seamlessly, which can be integrated with Teams. Now, all of those apps, when surfaced on Teams, allows you to drive efficiencies and automation, right? So in over here, if you see, we have created a Power App which allows the end user to check for stocks, process returns, and so on and so forth. And all of that was done in matter of days, right? And the same app can be accessed using the mobile phone and otherwise, right? What we can also do is basically increase this visibility of this particular app into other things, right? So you can also do automation from an approval standpoint. So you no longer need to write an email to someone to approve things. Power Platform by itself has something called as Power Automate, which allows you to have digital automation. It could be parallel or parallel approvals. It could be sequential approvals that you may want to plan. So very different processes that you may have, even if you're not at office, even if you do not have a printer, even if you do not have paper and paper driven processes, you can convert all those paper driven processes to digital processes by using Power Platform with Teams. The last and the most important part is the capability to collect data, right? Process data and provide a dashboard of that data in Teams itself. So Office 365 Teams is integrated with all the Office 365 products. It can also integrate with your own dashboard. So if you may be using a third-party dashboard, you can integrate that dashboard with Teams. And with this pandemic, what we saw is most of the reviews that were done around varied business processes, all of those dashboards were integrated in Teams, and reviews around or having insights around varied data driven decisions were done on Teams, right? Like the way it is shown. So moving quickly, we discussed as to how collaboration can be driven efficiently, how automation with workflows can be driven efficiently. But I believe those are not the only things that we were doing when we were at office, right? One of the important things that we were doing were meetings, right? How do we ensure that all the meetings that we are doing when we were at office, the physical meetings, they all happen seamlessly and humanize that as far as possible. So with Teams, what it allows us to do is to digitize our experience around meetings with apps and with videos and chat. So Teams allows us to have collaborative meetings, have the capability to have video shared, and also do audio meetings. Now in an audio meeting, along with the help of TCL and other partners, Microsoft is able to provide audio experiences which are unparalleled, which you cannot compare with any other partners, right? So in over here, what you can do is you can also use AI capability such as background blur, right? Such so that all the disturbances in your background can be avoided and it can be blurred. right? Similarly, what you can also do is you can have collaboration in that meeting itself, right? So the files that were shared, uploaded in the workspace, you can now bring that up during the meeting. You can have that pinned in the meeting. You can record your meeting, right? All of those experiences helps you to have more humanized digital meetings when you want to do that. And obviously, we have seen a lot of our customers do digital trainings or webinars with Teams, right? Now, the max that we can have from a webinar standpoint using Teams live event is around 20,000 users. So at a time, if you had to host a meeting which is like a broadcast, you can have up to around 20,000 users with Teams live event. Microsoft Teams meeting can have interactive meetings for up to 250 users, right? And those meetings can have whiteboards, can have documents shared, right? And all of the other aspects around artificial intelligence. The last and the most important point, right, which I want to state is the meetings are not with regards to in-meeting experiences. With Teams, what it allows you to do is to get the pre-meeting experience also and the post-meeting experience also while during the meeting. So the fact that an agenda for the meeting needs to be shared, the fact that people needs to know as to what is going to be discussed, the presentation, the document, all of those are all seamlessly integrated along with Teams meeting experience. And the fact that the notes are available to the users after the meeting, the recording is available to the users after the meeting, and in meeting you provide a better experience with audio, video, and the capability of doing background blur and live captioning is uncomparable. So with that, what I would suggest you is to try Teams and to have different experiences on Teams with collaboration, with meeting, and with automation. On to you, Jay, to take ahead and to suggest as to how we can have an end-to-end UC experience with TCL and Microsoft together.
Great, Kausal. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kausal. So we all heard Kausal, right? How an effective collaborations tool help the enterprises and the set of features that one enterprises can benefit out of. But when it comes to an effective and efficient UCC deployment, it is not as easy as what we talk, right? There will be multiple challenges, challenges like inconsistent end user experience, different SLAs, different platforms competing each other, outdated solution, and so on and so forth. And from there, we have to migrate to a different platform. In fact, the market perspective is that there is no single service provider who provides an end-to-end UCC offerings for the market enterprises. How does this partnership, the Tata Communication and Microsoft partnership, help enterprises and organizations across globe to overcome these challenges? We will gonna see this in detail in coming slides on these three major capabilities. The three major capabilities are like how you mentioned here, like global reach is one of the major capabilities that we both bringing to enterprises. They carry a great offering that we actually bringing in, that which we will actually explain in the coming slide, and the one partner GTM approach that we actually taking into the market that we operate. Next slide. Next slide. Right.
So yeah, go on to the next slide.
Before, go back to the previous slide, Kausal, you jump down slide. Great, thanks. Yeah, so if you look at the global reach part of the perspective, if at Tata Communication, we all know that we own world's largest undersea cable system, right? Be it Atlantic Road or Pacific Road, we run on our own capacities. 1/4 of the global internet traffic run on us, right? So that's the kind of network capability that we have got. In addition to that, looking at the voice capability that we're bringing into this, the global Sonos SBCs, which supports the Microsoft Teams DR platform across geos, be it in Americas or Europe, Australia, APAC, and India. So all this platform are actually spread across in each geos just to ensure that all of them are actually acting redundant to each other. So what it means to the enterprises, right? It means the best of the resilience and the BCPs has been assured to the enterprises. That's the global reach that we have got from this partnership. So moving on to the next slide, please. Great. Yeah. So when it comes to Tatacom, the network that I actually explained is the Bedrock product. So we build all our services on the Bedrock product of network. But within UCC, in Tata Communication within UCC, the SIP-Trunk is our Bedrock product. And SIP-Trunk is the flagship Bedrock product on which we build all our UCC portfolios. With the partnership with Microsoft, we build all our Microsoft UCaaS portfolios on top of our UCC SIP-Trunk capabilities, be it the Microsoft Teams VR, or connections for Teams, or the CVI, the cloud video and drop. All that is being built on the flagship Bedrock product UCC capabilities. We will see the UCC capability, the SIP-Trunk capabilities in the coming slides. On top of this, we also give a specific API and SDK related specific requirement for the customers, wherein if a specific customer is actually looking at all this being fine, but I need a specific application need to be addressed over an API or SDK, we also build and develop and giving along with that. It is not end of it, but all this coming with an integrated single SLA. That's a unique point that being part of our offerings to all the enterprises we have. Next slide, please. Okay, so to explain this in a schematic, what we can do is that I'll just explain how the typical MNC looks like, right? MNC are global enterprises, how it looks like. They have an office in multiple geos, like there may be one office in Americas, then there could be another one in Europe, there could be another one in APAC or in India, so there will be multiple offices. So all these offices will have the complete collaboration requirements. The collaboration or the UCC largely stands on two towers, right? One is the calling tower, the other one is the meeting tower. So calling for these offices, what will they do is that they will have a PBXs in each offices. Could be the locally purchased or a centrally purchased. It could be a different PBX or a same PBX across all regions. So that's one part of it, IP, TDM, whatever it is. Then all these PBX to make an enablement through for a calling, they have to have a local BSO vendor to supply the PRI. So the PRIs of each office will have a different PRI vendor, and then each offices will have a different tariff plan, and then there is a different calling pattern into it, right? What it means is that from the calling perspective, a customer has the interface has got multiple vendors for the PBXs, multiple vendors for the PRI connectivity for them to get enabled. Maybe this could be limited only for the domestic calling. If they need to make an international calls, they have to have another vendor to coming into it. End of the day, they will have an n number of vendors and so many contracts they have to manage it. So that's only from the calling side of it. Coming to the meeting side of it, similarly, these offices will have a independent audio conferencing services from the local vendors or even the centrally purchased one. So these audio conferencing, most of the time will be maybe connected, integrated with the web conferencing, or it could be sometimes separate audio conferencing or web conferencing solutions. That's how the typical global enterprises are looking like. And on top of that, one more stroke, on top of that, we will have a completely a separate video overlay network on top of it. Right? If you look at it, nobody will have a video network coming onto this. Right? They will always keep it separate video overlay network, which means they are not comfortable to have this video network on here because video is always a real-time applications. It needs to be well managed, and there has to be an IT guy sitting outside the room to manage the videos and all that, right? So that's how the typical the calling and meeting setup on any enterprises looks like. When it comes to Tatacom and that the Microsoft partnerships, what we do is that, so this is the overall setup. So this is the conventional setup. And for us to move this conventional setup of an enterprises to a digital experience or unified experiences, what we can do is that we don't do everything at once. We can do modular approach, step-by-step approach. We can first look at the calling portion. The calling portion is addressed by removing all the PBXs and the PRIs from the offices can be easily replaced by the Teams and the phone system from the PBX and the calling setup perspective. So that's from the office PBX replacement perspective. And for to make the calling, so what we will do is that the completely replace all the PRIs with the Tata Communications Teams DR, which is in other words, it's a global PSTN replacement services, domestic PSTN replace services. If you can give one more stroke, you will get that picture. So that's what we do. So you look at that, all the PBX has been removed, all the PRIs has been removed. Only the Teams with the phone system is there in the offices. All this enabled with the Teams DR services, which is what the complete calling full suite solution, which means all the offices of an enterprises will have a seamless unified experience. That doesn't mean that one PBX in one location and another PBX in another location, different rules and policies, right? So that's what we are actually covering, the complete unification from the calling perspective. Great, we have addressed the calling portion of it. So we'll move on to the next step, which is meeting, right? So meeting, still they have an audio conferencing services and web conferencing services separate, independent, multiple vendor and all that. All of that can also bring onto the same cloud here. On the same cloud, which is a calling cloud, we will actually have that ConnectSense license on top of it, enable the same PSTN calling over the Tata SwiftRun, which means that both calling and the meeting is actually running on the same cloud. Completely unified calling and meeting application getting addressed over Microsoft Teams phone system, ConnectSense, and the Tata Communication Teams DR solutions, right? So if you look at one vendor giving all your meeting and calling solutions, and that's how this is actually getting addressed. This is not end of it. If you give one more stroke, Kausal, the complete standalone video overlay network is there. So that can also be brought onto the same cloud without having a new network or a new setup. The same overlay video network can also be brought into the same cloud. The single cloud has got the complete meeting, be it an audio or a web or a video. All the meeting versions can be addressed on the same cloud, while the calling is already started addressing on it. So unified calling and meeting solution, one vendor to catch up, completely productivity enhanced, the consistent user experience across all the offices. And that's how exactly the world is moving, right? And then this is the latest one, the features we already heard it from Kausal, how it's actually going to work, and would be the same for the calling side as well. So this is a typical a schematic way we will explain to any enterprises to understand what is this partnership actually do when it comes to enabling the unified solutions jointly. One more stroke, there will be a benefit coming onto the slide. Right, so these are all the benefits, self-explainable. So you will have the PSTN cost coming into it. All this, you don't need to have a huge capex. And a typical scenario for PBXs and other hardwares, you will end up paying a huge capex, right? So that's that you will be worrying a lot about the ROI and so on forth. But in this solution, it's a completely OPEX. So from the day one, you can start the operations immediately. That's a benefit. And from the day one, it is an OPEX model. So that's the technology that we've been talking about, the unified solution we've been extending this partnership to the market. Next slide, please. Great. So I'll just go a little deep into the SwiftRun capabilities that I've actually explained. How actually the voice capability is actually getting bundled with the Rockstar Microsoft applications and the Teams licenses, right? So that's how we are actually bringing it. If you're looking at the standalone voice capabilities of Tata Comm, the SwiftRun is the better product, the flagship product that I've explained, which actually enables the customers to have all the global outbound calling and the inbound calling. Outbound calling, you can call any countries across globe with the rate cut that has been agreed upon. We are the largest coverage offering service provider when it comes to global inbound from the international. The calls collected in one international country can be taken to another international country, terminated for the enterprises for processing the calls, right? Those are all carried over an international toll-free numbers, which is ideally called as an ITFS, for which we give the largest coverage, been giving about 110 countries coverages to it, and it has been growing. And similarly, these are all toll-free, the callers will not pay for it, and then the companies will pay for it. If the companies are actually looking at the toll access, the same offer can be extended on a toll offer as well. We are giving 65 countries coverages to it, and within the 65 countries, we are actually giving a coverage of 300 cities. For example, if you're looking at India, you can ask for a Delhi number, Bombay number, or a Bangalore or a Chennai number. To that level, we are giving a city-specific toll access number. Similarly, for all these 65 countries, we give the toll access on a city-specific way. So that's why we are actually saying that it is about 65 countries covering 300 cities. So that much coverage you will get when it comes to your business applications, right? You don't really need to worry, how do I take a particular country's business, right? There is always a number from Tata Communications you can rely on to bring those business support that for which that particular country you've been business upon. So that's access number perspective. There is one more concept which is largely a global brands look at, wherein the global brands would prefer to publish only one number across set of countries, right? As per the ITU, up to 45 countries, one can publish an ITFS, a single ITFS. A single ITFS can be published across 45 countries. So that's a UAFN, Universal International Fleet Phone Number. So when it comes to the access for call collection inbound internationally, Tata stands number one in this business, right? So that's a capability that I like to highlight. And like I explained in the previous slides, we offer global PSTN, domestic PSTN replacement services, which means for about 27 countries, largely in Europe, America, APAC, you don't need to, an enterprises don't need to go on multiple BSOs operator and get the PRI services. You talk to one company which is Tata Communication. For all these 27 countries, wherever you have got offices, you will get delivered with the local PRI services, which is a domestic PSTN services. So that's the kind of voice capability that we bringing in, be it IP side of it or the TDM side of the PSTN side of it. You name any applications around the voice, we have the capabilities and we have the offering to support your requirements. So that's a capability. And how this is all possible, right? How this is possible is that we got about 1800 plus carrier partner across flows, be it tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all the tier level service telco providers in a particular geos or a country. We have been partner at the wholesale level, and that same benefit is actually getting extended to the enterprise level. So that's the size of the contract that we have got. We do about 52 billion plus minutes per annum. So that's the size of the business that we do. It all includes wholesale, enterprise, everything put together. So for this actually gives us the number one wholesale voice service provider stand for so many years in the row. So we've been a number one wholesale voice service provider for so many years. So this is the kind of capability when we talk, we actually bringing under the global leadership and global reach that we actually talk about it, and also the carrier grade offering that we are actually bringing in. Next slide, please, Kaushal. So we've seen the. I would request Kaushal to talk about the trust on Tata Communication by Microsoft.
Yeah, so we all have heard from Jay as to how Tata Communications and Microsoft can provide a better unified communication experience, right? To take that further ahead, what Microsoft did is Microsoft and TCL partnered together, and we have come up with Tata Communications having multiple competencies around varied capabilities. So Tata Communication, while it has multiple competencies around varied things, they are our gold partners for 4 major competencies that we hold, right? And voice being one of the prime there to complete the unified communication capability. Towards the same, in the last Inspire, so we have this Inspire event with our partners every year. We had Tata Communications being selected as the first or the finalist in the Microsoft Intelligent Communication Partner of the Year, right? And this is a great thing because there were a lot of partners who were elected, and Tata Communication came up to the finalist based on their innovation and based on the kind of solutions that Tata Communications and Microsoft delivered to our customers together, right? That is what really impacts the market. And that is what we saw, and that is where we celebrated that stand along with Tata Communication. Even year before that, we saw that Tata Communication is the first global carrier with Microsoft Teams around DR, so direct routing, and the launch that we did along with them as a partner, right? So with that, Jay, on to you. Right, I think we have a great partnership and a great celebration year on year. This year again at Inspire, I'm sure that there will be some award that Tata Communications will grab at Inspire. Although all of that is going to be digital again this year.
Absolutely, it's going to be digital for us. And thanks for that note and spelling it out, Kaushal. And that's the trust on Tata Communications by Microsoft, right? So we heard it from Kausal. And that's a trust on Tata Communications by Microsoft. There is equally and a better trust on Tata Communications by the customers in the market, right? So we already have millions of voice users on the services running on it. We've been doing about 60 million minutes per month already, and this has already jumped up during this last 2 months, like what how Kausal is actually explained. This is little past data. Then this services obviously gives a lot of eliminate a lot of complexity around it, gives the flexibility how an employee can more productivity even wherever he works from, right? So that's the kind of an offering. And not only that, after the sale, after the delivery of the services, how this is getting managed and supported, right? Be it our sales success management team managing the service support, or the adoption and the training that we extend, or the industry based one. That's where we see this particular partnership capabilities is making more sense to the enterprises to look at us for any calling and meeting requirement when it comes to. Moving on to the next slide, please. Right. So we see the capabilities of the partnership. So now we will look at the offerings of this partnership today to the market. The larger two offering towards the market from our side, the partnership is that one is obviously the DR, which we will be discussing for the calling applications. The next one is that connections for the Teams, which is the meeting application. In general, so we know all the licensing models. One is the CSP, the other one is the EA, right? The CSP is that cloud servicing provider license, and then LSP is licensing service provider. Under these licenses, we have largely two vertical or two larger portion that we cover the rest of the offerings as well. When I say rest of the offerings, apart from the Teams DR and the connections, what are the rest of the offerings under Microsoft? We do is that one is the legacy offering, which is legacy means customer might have already got investment done, the current PBX setups and the video setup. You don't really need to worry about what should I set that it is an investment I made. I haven't even seen the ROI yet. How do I actually immediately put out? Can I actually put all that ROI into the new business case? Don't need to worry because we actually extend the management of those legacy PBXs and the video STC as well, while we are actually helping the customers to move or migrate from that legacy setup to the new setup, which is a team setup. So that's we are doing it. So that's the legacy support. On the transformational support, customer decided to move from legacy setup to the digital experience team setup. But how we can actually transform from the legacy setup to the new setup, right? That's the more important, and that needs to happen seamlessly without much of the interruptions to the business. So that's why we call it as transformational services, wherein we have an adoption and training services as part of it. We also do video interrupt through CVA offering. Then we have the assessment programs. So assessment programs, all this we will go through in the coming slides in detail way. Move on to the next slide, also. Right. So the first product, which I've actually explained, the top two product, Teams DR, right? Teams DR is actually meant for a calling application of an enterprises. This is how the typical setup would be like. The hub of the framework, the teamwork is largely the Office 365 and the Microsoft Teams licenses. On top of that, you will have the phone system, which will behave as a PBX in the normal scenario. You will have another PBXs coming into the place, but you can completely replace that with the phone system licenses. The phone system licenses will act as the PBXs here. There is a network behind PBX, which is phone system, which is Teams license and Office 365. And after that, you will have a calling services enabled by the telcos like Tata Communication, wherein we actually enable the calling features that we actually explained in the previous slides. All the global calling, the capabilities that comes through the services called Teams GM. Not need to explain the benefit. Obviously, it's a single services. It expands the uniform customer end user experience across all the users, gives a lot of cost saving from what you are currently into, right? So that's the benefit of the services. Moving on to the next slide. So what we'll cover in that next slide is that how the services actually extended into the market. So there are three different variants that we have got for this particular Teams DR offering. One is the basic SIP plan. The second one is Connect, and the third one is the Managed plan. Basic SIP plan is just giving a Teams DR connectivity to the phone system license, and then we just leave it there. But many of the enterprises would also like to subscribe for the rest of the features that is mentioned here. be it the training or the tenant user management, the managed support, 24/7 managed support, user enablement, management and monitoring. If any of them they wanted to cherry pick any of that, so between the connect plan and the managed plan, so they can settle with any of this. So we have 3 plans on the Teams DR: straightforward basic plan, or the connect plan and the managed plan. That's the Teams DR for enterprises to understand in brief. Moving on to the next slides, it's connections for Teams. Connections for Teams is a meeting license, conferencing solutions. This has been actually comprehensively explained by Kausal in the previous slides when he actually explained it. What is the feature of it, how it works, how it benefits the enterprises in a more efficient and effective way. How this is the best collaboration tool. How the usage has been gone during the pandemic season. All that you have seen it, right? So that's what this product is from this partnership. So let's move on to the next slide. On the next slides, we will cover the legacy services. That we discussed the two. One is the legacy support, the other one is the transformation support. On the legacy, so like I explained, we will extend the management and the support for the customer's existing infra, which is the legacy PBXs, right? So when we actually decided to move from a legacy to the digital experience platform, what we need to know is that how these PBXs are actually functioning, right? So the policies of this PBXs, the rules defined into the dial plan, are the individual users, how it is being profiled into the PBX, how this PBX behaves for a particular level, manager level, below managers. All this is a multiple complex data go into the PBX. And in order to replicate the same features to the new system, which is a digital platform, we need to know all this, and then we need to transform that to the new platform, right? So we need to know that. So that's how we will actually understand all this, and then we will also extend the support while customer is actually planning to move on a hybrid way. So they will keep it for some time till the time they see the ROI justified, and then they can completely move on to the new platform. So that's what the legacy PBX services. Moving on.
So Jai, on adoption and change management, right? I will just take it up. It is very important to plan for change management because most of the things that Jai spoke about is more to do about change, right? And it is bringing simplicity to the end user. If you would have realized by now, the complex architecture which was there from a calling standpoint, from a meeting standpoint, is getting simplified. Even from an end user standpoint, he just has one tool to rely on, and then use that tool either for calling, meeting, collaboration, so on and so forth. So what Microsoft and Tata Communications do together is to plan the journey with you together and to have an adoption strategy in place such that we can be with you and plan as to by when should we cut over from Skype to Teams, or in Teams when should we enable voice, or within voice when should we go and meet out to businesses and digitize their processes or automate their workflow, so on and so forth. So there is a plan in place, there is a particular methodology in place between Tata Communications and Microsoft that we take from a customer success standpoint. And I do that as a primary job role from Microsoft, right? So me and my team work along with enterprise customers and others to ensure that there is an adoption plan, there is a concurrence from the customer as to when would they move and when would we start talking to varied customers, to introduce them to varied collaboration capabilities, to introduce them to varied automation tool sets that we mentioned, and how can we digitize the processes, right? Going to the next slide, Anja, you may want to pick that up.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So on the transformation services, like explained, we see in the adoption and training explained by Kausal. The next one is that obviously, like I explained in the previous slides, customers also would like to have a seamless migration of their video estates coming into the new digital systems, right? So what we can do is that we can seamlessly move them with our 3 exchanges that we signed up, Poly, Pexip, and BlueJeans. So we can actually have a video in drop extended through these exchanges for the customers. Moving on to the next slide, please. Right. This is the assessment program. Like I explained in the previous slide, the PBX, we will have a tool connected to it. We will understand the different PBXs. It can be of any type, right? Cisco, Avaya, Metal, any type of PBX that particular customer has got. That could be different PBXs within the company, right? So all this can be using our tool and be analyzed and assessed for the function of it, and then for us to give the assessment report to the enterprises for them to understand this is how this particular PBX is functioning, this is the thing that we can optimize it, this is the thing we can improve on, all that we will get the assessment out of it. Then we will actually use those assessment data, how we can actually migrate those things into the new digital platform, which is Teams Conversions, right? These are the two different programs, which is one is the PBX assessment, and obviously we will also give the migration services to the enterprises using this data. Or next slide, Kausar. Yeah, this is the one last slide on the offerings perspective. This is CPE managed services. Any CPEs, the customer premise equipment, be it a gateway or an SPC or a video endpoint that we supply along with our services, Teams GR or a ConnectSense or any other services that customers already has got with the previous thing, we can actually extend the management support from our side for those CPEs. Not only that, the customer might have challenges in actually taking everything on a CapEx. They would like to go for an OpEx model. So we extend these CPEs sales on OpEx model as well. Next slide. Okay, this one is on the after service delivery. It's an extra tool. We're actually using this tool and helping enterprises to monitor, report the services, and also diagnostics to understand the multiple data of the services. How the services performing for each individual enterprises is what the tool all about from the Nectar side of it. Next slide, please. Okay, so we've seen the capabilities. And we've seen the offerings from the partnership. How we can actually justify this makes sense for the participants on this call, right? The participants on this call may come from a different industry, might have a different business requirements, might run a different applications. What we can assure is that irrespective of your business, because we have use cases across multiple business verticals, we have use cases across multiple applications. Please feel free to reach out to us. We will help you to share specific use cases to you, which is more relevant to your industry and applications, which you can make use of to understand how this can be a more benefit for you to think of migrating from your current setup to the digital transform setup, which is Teams setup. Having said that, we have many such use cases. We take 2 use cases from our side just to give you how it actually means success for the rest of the enterprises in the market. This first use case is a major ITITS company. He has got offices across globe. He has got a multiple systems inside his office, like both for a calling and meeting. Calling, he has got a different PBXs and vendors on the calling services. Meeting is as well, he has got a different service provider services. What he wanted to know is that how Tata.com and Microsoft can be a right partner to them in terms of giving 3 aspects. So one is obviously they want to have a unified solutions for both calling and meeting. The second, they want to have a consistent user experience across all. The third, they want to achieve the cost saving out of this goal, right? So what we have done is that we took a two-phase approach. One in terms of the number of locations, the second is number of the solution that the number of locations. We've actually identified the locations where we got about 800 users. That's the first phase, and the first phase of the solution is only calling enablement. Calling enablement is nothing but a Teams GR enablement along with phone system license. So we enabled all that, and then we are actually just getting onto the second phase of it, which is meeting enablement for the customer. So what we are actually addressed to the customer is that both meeting and calling and the same license or services from a one vendor. That's a unified experience to customer. Obviously, experiences across users are seamless, it's same and consistent user experience. We have actually proven that customers actually saved between 30 to 35% of the spend that he is currently into. So that's what one of the use case that we would like to highlight. The next use case would be highlighted by Kausal. Kausal, over to you.
Yeah, this is a global SI that I want to talk about. They came up to us with a key requirement around collaboration between them and the client location and the delivery centers. While the collaboration was happening, but I thought they had seen an opportunity to improve that. And at the same time, they also wanted to focus on enhanced security and compliance. So what we did is we kind of understood the customer's profile. So we saw that this is one of the Fortune 500 companies with around 3,500 full-time employees, and they were an existing client for Tata Communication. So we together, along with Tata Communication and Microsoft, we designed an architecture with them, wherein we proposed for direct routing, which helped them to ease the collaboration and have better collaboration. This also helped them to integrate with SharePoint and have multiple workflows towards improved productivity. Right, the solution also had components around voice and was fully managed and fully integrated with Teams, providing a better audio video capability. Right, so that's the second example that we have. But as Jay said, there are many such examples that we can quote. Do let us know if you are in an industry where you want us to work together. Jay, on to you.
Correct. So this intelligent communication platforms actually depicts how enterprises can benefit from this particular setup, right? So this edge, this is the Teams edge, which is actually has got a global presence across multiple redundancy, like actually explained. The customer in US doesn't need to travel across the other part of the world, which is in APAC, and there is a latency issues and all that. Be it any application, be it conferencing, calling, collaborations, meeting, all that will be collected at the edge point, which is closest to the customer, so that the meeting performance or the experience itself is a better experience to any enterprises. So that's what you will be getting out of it. And this is a schematic just to understand how this works. This is one location edge, but globally this edge is present across the access to the customer is immediate to next to very close by. He doesn't need to travel along to get these applications addressed. Moving on to the next slide. This would be, I think, the last slide, I suppose. Sorry, this is the second last slide. This is the couple of awards we recently won from the market research analyst from Frost & Sullivan out of many. I'm not going to read out all the awards. We are the Unified Communication Service Provider Year of the Award, which is the second year in a row. And we are also Enterprise SIP Ranking Service Provider of the Year, the first time winner. And then we have many such awards from other industry analyst firms as well. On the right side, you can see that Gartner has actually recognized Tata Communication, who actually offered regionally across all regions borderless collaboration services for the enterprises, right? That's the recognition from Gartner and multiple other market research analyst firm. Moving on to the next slide, I think this would be the final slide for today's session. As a thanking note, we would like to extend a free 30-day trial to all the participating companies today's on this webinar, which will actually given as a no-cost free trial. So customers who want to experience this trial, please reach out to us. We are available on social media as well, both in LinkedIn, Facebook, and all that. You can reach it on any channels. We will get this enabled for you. This is about a free 30-day trial. You can experience it, and you can let us know how you actually felt about it. With that, thanks for patient listening from our side. Over to the moderators for a feedback session and Q&A.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear speakers, for such an insightful session. I must say it was great. Moving on, before we go ahead to the Q&A round, we have some quick polls for our attendees. I request all the attendees to be attentive. We will give only 10 seconds to answer the question since we are running short of time. Can we have the polls here, please? For the very first question, we have Microsoft Teams can be used for options are A, calls, B, chats, C, meetings, D, collaborations, E, all of the above. I repeat the question. Microsoft Teams can be used for calls, chats, meetings, collaboration, or all of the above. Yes, I guess we have the answer correct. 97% go with all of the above and 3% go with meetings. What do you have to say, speakers here?
I think all of them were attentive. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Moving on to the next question. For the second poll, we have What is the low code, no code platform in Office 365 that you can use to automate business flows? The options are Power Platform, Power Tool, low code platform, or none of the above. For our attendees reference, I repeat the question. What is the low code, no code platform in Office 365 that you can use to automate business flows? The options are Power Platform, Power Tool, low code platform, or none of the above. We have the answers with us, but before we go ahead, speakers, can you let us know what the answer is?
A.
Yes, 57% have gone with Power Platform. However, 17% have gone with Power Tool and 27% with low code platform.
Yeah, I'm happy that we have more than 50% right answers. Happy to partner with them to automate their workflows. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Moving on to the third question here. For this poll, we ask, what is the percentage increase in collaboration service usage in your organization due to COVID-19 pandemic? The options are 1 to 25%, 26 to 50, 51 to 100, or greater than 100. We have the feedback with us. 83% go with 51 to 100%, and 3% interestingly go with greater than 100%. 13% go with 26 to 50%. But yes, largely 83% go with 51 to 100%.
Yeah, that's almost resonate with the industry feedback, right? So that's what we've been covering in the initial slides. The collaboration has really gone up because that's the way the world is going through. The work from home is the mandate of the day.
It perhaps is the new normal. Can we have the next question here? For this, we ask, what stage of planning are you currently in at your organization? The options are protect people, maintain a steady use of operation, business model for growth, or reduce cost and improve efficiency. While we collect the inputs from our attendees, dear speakers, what do you think the inputs will look like?
I caution here, I think it should be the last one.
Reduce cost and improve efficiency.
Yeah, most of, absolutely.
We have the answers with us. Yes, 43% go with reduce cost and improve efficiency. 14% go with business model for growth. 32% go with maintain a steady state of operation. And 11% go with protect people. We have one last question here. As the world readies itself for a digital future of work, when do you see your organization joining in? The options are right now, in 3 to 6 months, in less than 3 months, or not yet decided. The inputs here with us, 38% go with right now, 45% go with in 3 to 6 months, 17% go with in less than 3 months, and none of have voted for none or not yet decided. Those were the 5 questions we had for the polls and feedback. Moving on to the Q&A round, since the clock is ticking by, we're quickly taking one question, and if we can have both of your thoughts on this. So the question says, with many employees using personal devices to work from home, how can we ensure that our policies and security guidelines are implemented without impacting their personal data?
Right. I'll take it up also. So
Sure.
see, for example, if you're looking at Teams as a collaboration tool, that like what Kausal explained in the initial slides, it can work it in any devices, be it on mobile devices, on a laptop, or anywhere, right? When it comes to the security aspect of the applications, it's well secured, right? Well, you being part of that meeting, you have authentications coming into it. Without an authentication, you will not be part of it. And there is a different treatment. If you are an employee of the same company, there is a different treatment. If you are an employee of an outside company, so there is a different treatment when you are coming into the call. So there are security aspects planned into it, and then that's and you could see how it has been used by the enterprises across globe, right? And if it is not much secured, I don't think this would have been much success out in the market. From Teams perspective, I would like to add that point. Kaushal, if you'd like to add more from on top of it.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. So, I think this is a very good question, and we are seeing this as a very relevant one in the recent times. I was personally engaged with NGOs, non-profit organizations, and they wanted to continue their business in pandemic because all of this came to them all of a sudden. And when we discussed with them and came out with a solution around how Teams and Office 365 and with partners like Tata Communications, we can help them resolve the situation. They really liked it, and they are implementing it today. Right. So from a security standpoint, Teams is part of the same family, which is Office 365, and has the same security capabilities. So from the back end, you can enable a lot of security capabilities. Office 365 also has a tool called as Enterprise Mobility Plus Security, which can help you to have security in place. So you can plan for a mobile device management or a mobile application management. It also has conditional access. So at what point of security are you looking at? All granular securities can be run at data level, at device level, at a mobile device level, right? At an application level, all of that can be planned. So from enterprise standpoint, if you're looking at security, I think Office 365 along with the right partner can help you plan for having a collaborative environment, which is again secured and helps you to achieve your business goals.
Sure, so quickly taking one last question here. The question says, with a lot of employees likely to continue working from home or maybe even from their hometowns rather than the big cities beyond the lockdown, so what new IT process changes need to be brought in into the organization?
Jay, you want me to take that?
Yeah, I will definitely. Yeah. See, yeah, this is more to do with the employees who has to work from home, and that's the situation. I think most of the companies today, if you're looking at, it's actually calling it out, right? In a larger ITS companies, they've actually called out by 2025 we have X percentage of employees working from home is the norm, right? That's how it's gonna be. So what is that from enterprise benefit perspective? So it saves a lot of cost to enterprises. So that's one point. But how productivity that particular employee, how efficiency, operation wise, how we are going to manage the entire so is what the critical aspect of it. That is where I think from enterprise one has to focus. Those are all the areas needs to focus. From the end employee perspective, obviously that needs to be given a look from how he is actually getting equipped at his place, be it at home or his home city. Those are all the areas, be it as a proper network or the equipments that he has to deliver for his office role and all that needs to be looked at. Kausal, sir, you want to add some more?
Yeah, I just want to add 2 or 3 points. And obviously, people, process, and technology play a key role, right? From a process standpoint, I think process should include trust and should include the factor of culture, right? Because most of the times we have seen that organizations as large as what we may think, they never thought that people can be productive and efficient when working from home. So they have to have processes in place which can incorporate the trust factor and also drive towards changing the culture of people's mindset that their employees will work efficiently when working from home. That's one part. Second is it has to get implemented along with the partnership of HR and IT and other departments, right? Because it has to do with a lot of it with regards to how do we keep people motivated, how do we ensure that employees are more empowered and they learn more, they are utilizing the time when at home towards building their talent and other things. And the third and the most important point is while we are providing the capability to work from home, how are we ensuring the security and collaboration aspect? How are we ensuring that the right balance of collaboration and security is done? Right. So if these three things, along with what Jay said, is taken care of, and I think with M365, Office 365, Teams in particular, we can help organizations design these aspects and execute it handsomely.
Seamlessly, yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
That's great. Thank you so much, speakers, for the answers that you've given us and for the insights that you've given us during the presentation. I'm equally grateful for all our attendees for being with us here today. Thank you. Have a great day ahead. Stay connected and most importantly, stay safe.
Stay safe. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Have a
Have a great day.
yeah.
Bye-bye.